Oh my
Della Peep.
goodness. Listen, Della Peep, we
I
stand,
love
we
the
love, we
captions.
adore.
Della Pie.
Hey, every time it's different. Is it,
Anyways,
we love
y'all.
adore. Like what?
Yo, we are live.
Oh,
We are live talking about Della Peep.
Dollar Peep.
Della Peep. Della Peep. But ladies and gentlemen, and oh my goodness. Shush, let me start the panel. We're off to a great start. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between, welcome back to Stream Queens Con 2. My name is Nikki Stones, and welcome to Visibility, Non-Binary Finery, where we chat with some of the most iconic non-binary people on Team Stream Queens. Are you excited? Are y'all excited? Are y'all excited?
Hell yeah.
of course I am.
Yes.
It's gonna be great. Now, you'll probably notice that this may not be the first time that we've done a non-binary panel here on the channel. Last year, during Stream Queens Con, our lovely own Nemesis actually hosted theirs. So I feel like I have like some big shoes to fill right now.
Oh,
So-
stop it. You're going to
You're
try.
only a size 13.
I was gonna say that. Oh my God.
And
She has big feet.
You know what they say about big feet, big shoes. Anyways, we should just introduce ourselves, shall we? So, like I said, my name is Nikki Stones. I'm your moderator for today. I stream on Twitch every Tuesday and Sunday. I'm a member of Team Stream Queens, your local non-binary crush on an autistic mixed race drag legend from Dublin. That's kind of it. My pronouns in drag are she, they, and out of drag, I am a they, them baddie. Mia, tell us about
Hi, my
yourself.
name's Mia Easylay. I play a lot of Pokemon, and my pronouns are she, her.
Ooh. That's short and sweet. We love it.
I love it.
Erica.
Hi everybody, my name is Erica Clash. I use they them pronouns out of drag, she they pronouns in drag. I stream in and out of drag here on the Twitch. I love Pokemon, I love retro. We just did a 2D Metroid series. And yeah. Oh, and we also love to scream every once in a while with a horror game. Bam!
We're off to a great start. I love this. I'm already so excited for this. Let's go down to Lesbiana.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lesbiana. I am out of drag today, but I am a Latinx non-binary streamer. I do mostly drag king makeup, so you might see that on my channel. I play a variety of games, but my latest obsessions are Fortnite.
Resident Evil 7
Period.
when?
No, no.
RE7.
As soon as London
RE7 when?
finishes Alien Isolation, I will finish it.
Fine.
End
hear
of
that,
It's never
story.
gonna happen. And
London,
you know it's never
that-
gonna happen.
Thank you. Next.
This is a call out for London Bradshaw. Finish Alien Isolation. Aphasia, tell us about yourself.
Hello, my name is Aphasia Speaks. I'm a genderqueer, a black drag artist here on Twitch.tv. I run the Speakeasy, which is currently closed for renovations. I'm just taking a little break from streaming. And hi, my pronouns in drag are she, they, out of drag are he, they, and she, or any with respect, or bad bitch. I'll take that too.
Nice.
Yeah.
And last but not least, I mean, you know them. We all know them. Nemi, take it away.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nemesis. I run the network over on twitch.tv/Nemesis Network every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or Sunday. I was happy and very fortunate to host the non-binary panel last year at Stream Queens Con, and I'm happy to be a guest this year. And I hope things go well. I'm a variety retro streamer. I do lots of variety games on GameCube, Nintendo DS, the Wii, all that fun stuff if you want to come over there. But yeah, that's just a little about me.
Yes. So,
Oh, and they, them pronouns. Hey.
oh yeah, they them pronouns for Nemi. Listen, y'all have gotten to meet us now. So I suppose we'll just dive straight into this. Are we ready? We ready?
Yes.
Ready? Okay. So there are numerous non-binary identities under the umbrella. So obviously we are going to use non-binary as an umbrella term to cover anything that does not identify within the gender binary. So there are numerous identities under the non-binary umbrella, but I'm going to open it up. Which like labels would you say you identify the most with? Let's start with Erica.
Yeah, I currently use gender queer. And I don't know, I think I just like how it sounds. It's sort of like I don't identify as like a trans person in the sense that like I would want to change my physical body. My body just naturally has like the things that I want it to have. But I think what I do struggle with is being gendered in these like public spaces. So like always getting sir, or even just like me now discovering my name change, not wanting to use my more masculine name, using a genderless name. So I think that's kind of what I like about the term genderqueer, is that you can sort of be queer within whatever like space that you're navigating. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, that totally
Yes.
makes
Of course.
sense. That totally makes sense. And like you put it into like perfect words. So thank you, Erica. Mia, how about yourself?
I liked the term queer mostly. I just once like same thing as Erica. I just like how it sounds. Like if anybody just asks, I also like I don't know how to say this the right way, but like I just don't think that my gender is like anybody's business unless
I
you're trying to
agree.
f me or unless you're trying to like do you know what I mean?
Mm,
Like unless you're
Of
trying
course.
to hit it and quit it, like I don't
right.
really like it's none of your fucking business. Which is why like I just follow I don't know. Anything with gender, I always just follow the like, okay, what pronouns do you want to go by? Okay, cool. And then I move about my life. I definitely agree and I understand Erica's form of I don't like being deemed masculine, whether I'm in or outside of drag whatsoever. Unlike Erica, I will get my body done and I have. You're welcome. Uh,
Can I just
but
mention that Can I just mention that, like, when you got your body done and like the first day that I rang you afterwards, you were like, "Do you want to see my butt?" And then you proceeded to moon me, but it took you 5 minutes to stand up and pull your pants down.
you didn't complain. Uh, yeah, I guess I don't know. For me, for my queerness and everything, it's just more or less like I just follow the idea of like what pronouns do you want to use? Does that make what makes you comfortable? Because I just really once again, unless like I'm trying to fuck somebody, I don't think it's anybody's business. And that's kind of just how I identify and how I go about my life. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Totally. And Aphasia, I know you mentioned it earlier. Would you like to elaborate on the label that you choose?
Yeah, so much like Erica, I use genderqueer. Is like if I had to put a label on it, that's the area I would like be in. It's funny because I discovered that aspect about me while streaming and doing drag during the pandemic. Because before I just used he, him pronouns. And like I always felt kind of like, it's whatever. I don't really care, kind of situation. But then one day I was doing makeup and I was talking to chat and I was like, yeah, while doing drag, like I find it more difficult to use just he, him pronouns because I feel like I'm more than just like the masculine and then the feminine side. I personally feel like as a drag artist, it's hard to just to stay in that lane of in the binary the whole time. I feel like it's like it's like I don't know where I am in the stance and like in the in between processes of getting into drag because I see like the masculine melting away and the feminine presenting, and it's like okay, cool. And so on stream one day, I was like, I think I'm non-binary or genderqueer. And everyone's like, oh really? And I was like, yeah, like I think I just made this realization as I'm like putting on this brow, and then it's been like I've been on the journey ever since. And it's I feel more comfortable in my skin. There was one morning where like I went out because I do like my morning wake and bake session, and I just like threw on this like yes, all the time. I had this skirt on that I like wear around for like drag and things like that. I have this like little crop top like sweater moment on. I'm just outside. It's like March, just smoking, and I was like, hold on, this is the most like gender euphoric I've ever felt in this moment. And I just like I cried while smoking my bowl, and I was like, this is what it's about. And so I've been more comfortable in my skin ever since then. So yeah,
That's awesome.
mm-hmm.
You mentioned gender euphoria and the concept of that. We'll definitely get back to that later on.
Yes,
that is something that we should 100% discuss. Les, what about yourself?
Let's see. I usually just use the term non-binary. It's been like the same with aphasia, just like more of like a recent kind of discovery. And I think I even more recently have gone more towards like the overall queer label, because it's all encompassing. And I guess for me, sometimes having to explain a label takes time, it takes labor and effort, and sometimes I don't want to put in all of my energy to explain that to someone. And so I use queer as kind of like overall generalization, or I just say non-binary.
Awesome. And Nemi?
Actually, can I piggyback off of that, Les? Do you mind? I
Yeah.
think that's a great statement to bring up. And also off of Mia's statement earlier, I think we all bring up great points. Our identity, really, we do not have to be a dictionary and explain to people, and it's not anybody's business except for our own, and we come first. I think that's a very important thing. That if you can take anything away from anything that I say, at least, just figuring out your identity, and then it's everybody else's second is what you need to do first. Because for me, I don't want to stray away from the question, but I don't really use the label besides non-binary as well. I really think it's a discovery. It's really a special thing to have with yourself. And then when you really can find that and you're really in that special place, that maybe you can share it, but you really don't have to be like the up, down, all the way for somebody to explain everything. And it does take a lot of labor, and some people just don't understand it. And some people, unfortunately, are like, oh, this is too complicated, but it's not. But people are just like that. But yeah, that's what I have to say to it. I just wanted to, everybody made great points, and that's what I have to say.
And I'm going to piggyback off of both of yous, because I'm the same. I just say non-binary, and if people come up to me, they're like, well, what does that mean? I'm like, oh, okay, I don't identify as male or female. And they're like, but, and then it brings me back to that iconic Gaga quote. Why am I going to waste my time and give a press release about whether or not I have a penis? My fans don't care, and neither do I.
Iconic Gaga moment.
Yes. and I always say, if someone is gonna ask you for that labor and for that time, then they need to pay you for that.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Can I? Do you mind if I say one more thing? I'm so sorry.
Oh, Nemi, this is a conversation. If you want to say something, you say it, okay?
I also don't want it to feel like because I know a lot of people use that term of they look at non-binary or trans people and they're like, oh, they're the angry non-binary or trans. Oh my god, my alerts are on. This is so. They look at non-binary or trans people and they're like, oh my goodness, like they're the angry. They won't educate me. They won't let me know. But it's also not our detriment. It's not. I'm more than happy to educate you, but you need to listen and you need to respect trans and non-binary individuals. I know this is a non-binary panel, but please listen to your community and just understand us. You need to take that labor and you need to like just harness it and help us out here, because it might seem complicated, but it's more complicated for us to explain it to you.
Yeah.
And I'm more happy to do it. I'm more happy to explain it to you, but you really do have to listen.
Yeah, you really have to go into it with like an open mindset and a willingness to learn. Mm-hmm. Because if you're just saying, well, I don't understand, tell me. Yeah. It's like you already have that wall up of like, you don't actually want to listen to what's going on. Mm-hmm. And so if you go there saying, hey, I'd like to learn more about this, can you help me or like steer me in the right direction? And I just want to be more supportive. Then people are more willing to say, okay, well, this is what's going on. And this is that. And this is that. And, it's just it's a give and take situation. You have to like be willing to put in the work to get out what you actually want from it, and not just to be argumentative and like stubborn,
Yeah,
100%.
Sometimes it's like even hard to explain. Like sometimes you don't know the right words, like even for yourself, or how to define that, and sometimes that's okay too.
Yeah, and like a lot of the time as well, you'll like I know I've found with some people they'll be like, "Oh, you're non-binary," and then they'll basically tell me what being non-binary is, but it's like that may apply to someone else, but that doesn't apply to me. Like
Yes.
if you want to know me, you need to ask and be willing to listen to my experiences and to my thoughts and to basically what I like how I identify, which kind of brings us on to another question of like Nemi, you did mention like respecting non-binary and trans community members and siblings. Where do you find how do I phrase this? There we go. Non-binary versus trans. I'm literally reading off the panel guidelines that I wrote. Non-binary versus transgender. Are they the same thing? Can a non-binary person identify as transgender, and does a non-binary person have to identify as transgender? For me, I know I do identify as a member of the transgender community, but that's just me. What about y'all?
That's like a really tough one to unpack because
Yeah, I agree.
it creates a lot. It creates definitions which can create exclusions, right? Or like the impulse to like say, so I don't know. I feel like non-binary is under the larger, like that umbrella is under a bigger or maybe like another umbrella. So it's like it's kind of hard. I don't even know if I have a definitive answer. I personally don't identify as trans, but that's only assuming that the assumption of transgender is that you are wanting to in some form transition. So like maybe there's like hair removals, like the one thing that I would like to do, at least at this moment. But would I consider like hormone replacement therapy? Like I don't necessarily feel like that's for me. So I don't want to speak for someone who's having those lived experiences and say that I am a part of that. So it's like it requires, I think, both parts or both sides of that conversation to really have it fully. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
It's hard for me as someone who doesn't personally identify as trans to like unpack that.
Yeah, I'm kind of in like the same boat. It's like I don't identify as trans, but I know I'm underneath the full trans umbrella because I'm binary, then genderqueer. Just all kind of trickles down to underneath the big trans umbrella. I personally think that you don't need to modify your body or hormones to say that you are trans, not to be a trans medicalist like some people that we have seen on television recently.
Nemi,
Nemi, I don't want to be bitter about anything, but
we're gonna hold Nemi back right now. We're holding Nemi.
Okay.
I'll keep it to myself.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you later.
But it's like you can be trans without having identify as a trans person without having to do the full like hormone replacement, body modification, and all that things. I know you.
I can't believe
Nemi's just gone.
I may just be speaking. Girl. Have you not seen my Twitter? I don't care anymore. I just don't care. Anyway.
Okay,
but yeah, like that's it. So like you don't have to do all that to be a member of the trans community. And you can still say you're trans and have all of the parts that you were born with. You said no. I identify as this, this entity of a person. So that's all I gotta say.
Aphasia has spoken.
And you have said it. And you said it.
I said it.
I don't want to step on anybody. But I do want to say that I do think non-binary trans is valid. I think non-binary trans is beautiful. I think everything about it. I don't think anybody has said anything opposed, but I just want to say that I'm a big speaker for non-binary trans people, and I think they're so beautiful. I did identify as non-binary trans at one time, and it's still a gender journey for me to discover. And that's my personal thing. And same with how Erica stated it. I think it's a very slippery slope on what you want to say, because it's hard to define things. You don't want to define it for that because you don't identify as a certain way. It's a very hard question. It's a lot to unpack in such a small little meeting.
Oh yeah.
But I will say that I definitely, I think non-binary trans people are great.
Yeah, like to just answer the actual prompt, like yes, they can and do already exist.
Right.
The question is like everyone's gender can be it can be an evolving identity as well, you know, because
Yes.
sometimes even the way that you maybe identify or the label that you choose can change. The way that you express that identity can change. So it's like, you know, but I would err on the side of we ought not create rules and purity tests and distinctions for things.
Yeah.
Because then that can just create you know, the opposite of what we want, which is community, which is us supporting each other through whatever our unique experiences are. And that's the beauty of it, is that everyone's experience is going to be different. And so like I personally think we ought not shy away from that difference, or like that need to like overly categorize or like say this is and this is not.
I also think gender is a growing thing with everybody. I don't think it doesn't stop. You find more about yourself as you grow. Some people do eventually find themselves, but gender is so beautiful that it keeps going. So I don't think it ever has a stopping point. So yeah, I think it definitely you can learn and grow from other people's experiences, other people in the community, and things you see in the media. So I think things like that are important as well. But that's all I'm going to say. I want the other two to talk because I haven't had anything to say.
Mia,
Go ahead, Mia.
I might say a word wrong, so I ahead of the time apologize. But I fully believe that, like, and this is not to put anybody down, blah, 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 but I fully think that anyone who's non-binary or on some sort of genderqueer spectrum, we all belong under the same, like, trans umbrella.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. And whatever, I mean, there are people out there, and that have certain feelings and blah, blah, blah. But I mean, I've gone through a surgery, and I don't consider anybody else on this panel to be lesser than me, besides Nikki, but it's different. But like,
listen, I know where you listen. I'm staying in your place in 3 days. You better sleep with one eye open, bitch.
Luckily I have 3 brown eyes. But like,
oh my god.
But like, I don't like. I think that I definitely consider myself under the this trans umbrella and trans spectrum because, as I said before, I just go based off of my pronouns, and I just like being called she, her. And out of drag, I'd rather be called she, her. And if you say they, them, that's fine. If my dad calls me he, him, I don't really care because it's my dad. Like, had to pump something and make me. Like, I don't really. Cool, but I don't. Once again, I follow the idea set that like if you're not trying to like fuck me and I'm not consenting to it, then like I don't give a shit, and it's not your opinion. But I think that there's so much. It's just the queer community in general is so fucking label. What are you? What are you? This? What is this? What's there? Etc. And then it becomes an absolute hellfuck mess. And then certain members of this community, who I should be calling my family, want to act a fool, and then it just pisses everybody off. But in the end, I just think everybody needs to kind of like calm down a little bit, go over to Phaedra's house, wake and bake, and relax, like, and just enjoy.
Leslie's been here. It's a cute house.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
let me tell you.
I would fully consider. I consider any. And I feel like trans is non-binary, non-binary is trans. If that makes sense, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, and if anybody feels otherwise, please like correct me. I don't want to be wrong, but I feel like if somebody is going through and expressing their gender in any sort of way that is other than the I am born cisgendered, I am 100% this, blah, 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 then you are breaking away from the conformity that is gender, quote unquote, what we're taught, and you are exploring your innermost self, whether you go all the way to cut, print, pluck, and do whatever, or you're a nice, beautiful half in between, or some days you go, you know what, today I feel a little bit more femme, and my pronouns are she, her, because I think that's the other thing that people don't talk about is your pronouns can change daily, and that's okay, and everyone else can shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Does that make sense?
No, it does. Thank you for
Absolutely.
saying that.
Absolutely.
I actually I feel the same way as you do, Mia, in terms of this, where in a way I don't like the fact that we've said anything that's not cis is automatically trans. I think that it may be we may, with everything that's kind of being more open about like gender identities and not cis, I think maybe just actually saying not cis might be more beneficial in bringing the community together.
Yeah.
You know?
I
That was
just
just throwing.
I get what you're
something out
saying. I'm not, but like we're like it's the same thing as sexuality. Like gender and sexuality are just on this like this crazy spectrum, and I think everyone just tries to label everything.
Mm.
there.
No, I get it.
Anyone else tired?
Yeah.
Constantly.
You know.
I mean, Mia, you spilled. You spilled.
I'm
Les,
shotgunning coffee.
I'm jealous. I have like 2 empty cans of Monster, and I'm like, do I go get another one? Anyways,
Soon there'll be
Oh
bottles for
my
this.
goodness.
I hate you. Anyways, Les, I know that you were going to say something, so please enlighten us.
I mean, pretty much what everyone else said resonates so well with me. Like, it's just hard to define, and yeah.
Mm.
Like for me, I don't exclusively identify as trans. Same with a few others, but that doesn't mean that it's not under all of the other, umbrellas.
Mm. Yeah.
I do have one hot take.
Oh.
Just
Okay.
one?
I do have one hot take before anything. And I do want to say that I think also people should be more open to the idea and understanding that non-binary falls under the trans umbrella, just for the fact that the non-binary flag is really ugly and the trans one is so cute.
The non-binary
wearing
flag
it
is
right now, you
beautiful.
jerk.
Non-binary flag.
The non-binary flag is beautiful.
It's
Oh,
so
perfect.
nice. Look at my button. It has a cute little frog on it.
The
The
Seriously.
gender
I haven't-
listen, y'all. The
I
gender queer
literally-
flag is fierce.
The gender queer one is I don't like the green in it.
You were so ready for that.
Okay.
Next question.
I like green, purple, and white. So.
Do you know what? We're gonna move right on now before Mia says something that gets her kicked off of the team. So obviously we're all out as non-binary. We're all pretty happy, I would say, being a lot more comfortable in our skin. But what is
Define
what
happy. I'm sorry, go ahead.
less dysphoric? We'll
That
go.
part.
There we
Okay,
go.
yes.
There we go.
Okay.
But
okay.
what have you found is the best part about being non-binary? What have you found is the best thing about being non-binary, Aphasia?
Oh, wearing what I want and not giving a fuck what people say.
That's
Point
one.
blank period. The end.
Yes.
It's just like I was saying earlier, just like walking out and just like in whatever the fuck I feel like, whatever crop top or like short shorts moment or like skirt, dress, like whatever the hell I feel like, and just like, oh, this feels so free. This feels right. I feel comfortable. And then I start putting on drag and then I get uncomfortable, but that's a whole different story because fuck putting on drag. But yeah, like that's like for me, it's just like it feels so great and like freeing and less like, and then having like my friends and close family just like understand like what it is and just like, like with my family, they still use just like he, him, and I'm like, that's fine. With my friends, they use he, him, they, them, she, they. I know a lot of people here on Twitch use she, they all the time because I am a drag artist and I'm in drag more often than I'm not in drag. And it's just like, well, they always like she say like she, her, like great, perfect. But I'm also down for like whatever. Like I haven't really explored the neo pronouns yet. But maybe one day down the line, I'll find some maybe I'll like Faye Fair or something like that, It's the world of possibilities just in front of me. And it's just like, I feel hopeful for the future, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Erica, what about you?
Yeah, just to piggyback off that a little bit, I think, I spent so much time growing up, I would always hate going clothes shopping because it's like you have the two choices and one of them conveniently is not ever presented as an option. So then I'm stuck wearing these like shit green
Ugly
cargo
clothes.
shorts.
Blech.
And I'm like, if that's your gig, like no tea, no shade. But
No,
like
we
it
should
was
talk about
all
that.
tea,
We should
all
talk about
shade.
that.
but no, because listen, I mean, you know, I'm not trying
Cargo
to.
shorts in 2021.
No. I'm not
Choices.
saying now. I'm talking about growing up. Like,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
the way that your parents dress you because of, you know, what you have cooking in your between me down there, and then just being always so focused on that and always feeling pushed to do the sports or do the, you know, it was just really exhausting, feeling like I had to hide my physicality or elements of my physicality in, you know, public spaces or like in family gatherings, or like when it was time to dance, I always felt super awkward because I never, so like, I guess finding drag, you know, because I do think about drag as a part of my gender expression. um you know, finding drag, and then later, because, you know, I didn't know that I was non-binary or feel that I was non-binary when I started, but then like about halfway through my, you know, drag journey, you know, around the time I moved to San Francisco, I started to really embrace that and like want to, you know, update my wardrobe and find new clothes that really affirmed me and made me feel happy, that like reflected my personal style, you know. So like I think part of it is like finding not just your gender euphoria, but like finding your personal style, finding the way that you want to navigate the world. You know, for me recently switching to they them pronouns, I'm doing a name change. It's about setting the intention and being able to like have the agency to do that now as an adult person, has been really great.
Yeah. I'm gonna piggyback off of that and just be like, definitely. Like, I feel like this is just like piggyback. It's like past. What was it?
Because
Panel earlier.
the experience is so universal.
Yeah, I think
These
like
are relatable things that people go through.
Exactly. The biggest thing for me was definitely being able to, like, when I'm dancing, like, for those of you who don't know, she's a dancer. She's a dancer.
If you didn't see the video beforehand of Icy for
Icy.
the umpteenth time, and it's always a classic. And I
Listen, you. But the whole thing was very
I'm just
much...
gonna say, last Stream Queens Con, it was Nikki for the whole first day, and I loved it. So whatever.
Literally.
What can I say? What can I say? But definitely, when it comes to dancing, is like being in, like, growing up doing dancing. It was very like, oh, you look like a dude, you act like your voice is deep like a dude, and your parents say you're a dude, so you're a dude, so you have to do all these dude parts, and it's like, this is not what I enjoy. I enjoy playing with that entire bit of femininity and playing with gender, and the fact that also in K-pop, girl dances, like girl style dances, are so much nicer than boy style dances.
They really are.
But being able to just be like doing that, and the fact that I can show up in dance in literally a pair of joggers and a sports bra, and everyone's like, that's fine, that's normal, that's expected. Like, that is just like, I think that's the best thing that's ever happened, and that's something that you don't, like, I haven't felt in a really long time. And I was like, it was only a few weeks ago that I only went wearing a sports bra for the first time, and then my teacher was like, I'm so proud of you, and like came and hugged me, and I was like, you know, it was just
yes,
a little thing like that. I see Nemi is, I feel like Nemi's aching to say something right now.
No, I'm just sweating. It's really hot in this motorcycle jacket.
Are you sure it's really hot or you're really hot?
Yeah, you're
I'll
really
take
hot
the
in the motorcycle
compliment.
jacket.
Thank you so much.
No.
Oh. But Nemi, what's the best part for you about being non-binary?
There's a lot. I like that we were talking about growing up and how it was really, unfortunately, like, two genders, and it's just unfortunate growing up, and it's just like so like in your brain for so long about it, and it's just aggravating. But like, when I was growing up, I was very queer. I was very just like LGBT oriented. Like, if you knew me when I was growing up, you would know that I was going to be non-binary, but I just didn't know what it meant. Like, I just didn't know it existed. And like, I think that's the case for a lot of people. It's just, we didn't know. Like, it was really just the uncertainty of gender identity back in the early 2000s, and like, it was very hard to understand because there was the lack of the internet and lack of media, and there was no visibility. And I think that's a great thing to, you know, obviously have, is that I've really found my tribe, and like, I found like everybody that, like, my community, and like everybody non-binary, trans, and everybody there. So I can really not be stuck around toxic straight people that misgender me all the time. So I like having those people to lean on, and I feel like I'm welcomed. I also like my flag that Mia hates. I think the non-binary flag is beautiful. Go on.
I'm waiting for Mia's rebuttal.
You can think the flag is cute. I don't mind. What's your opinion? I don't care.
It's my
But Mia,
again.
Mia, what's your favorite thing about being non-binary? Like, what's the best part about it for you?
It's okay.
Oh my god.
That's it. Just it's
Um,
okay.
I'm so lucky that, like, I have a lot of privileges of the fact that, like, God, this is gonna sound so stupid. But, like, the CT drag scene that I'm in, that, like, I run, it's like there's more non-binary and trans and queer people than there are cisgendered people, at least in our drag scene. Like, if you could point out the cis gay male doing drag, like, congratulations, you found Waldo. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I just feel really comfortable where I am. So I don't. Everything's just kind of nice already. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just really lucky because the area that I'm in is hella queer and everyone's very respectful. And I'm just lucky in general. So I guess that's the best part. It's
Well, good
it's
for
just
you.
really
Yeah.
nice where
Well,
I am.
what's
Yes,
it-
we know,
what's
Mia.
it-
You have a lot of shinies. We know. Thank you.
You know, like, you just have to rub it in. Les.
It's a nice area. I don't really have too much to deal with because I also just don't let people bother me about it.
Mm.
So I'm pretty much okay. Everything's good here. That's the nice part. I mean, most people, I would say the best thing about being non-binary in my area is that 90% of the other non-binary and trans people are all cool with each other.
Mm.
Except for this one bitch, but we don't talk about her because she has a really confusing jawline and her teeth stick out like this.
That's so rude.
Yeah, she's a bitch.
I was about to say something and I was like, no, we're on the Stream Queens channel. I'm going to get shot if I say it. So I can't go there. But I'll tell you it after.
Oh,
Les,
you can meet her next. I'm gonna make you meet her.
I know I'm going to meet her. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Anyways,
will.
we have a
You will.
we're on a panel. Focus.
What?
This is okay. I'm gonna say this. This is what happens when you get someone with ADHD that's unmedicated to moderate a panel. It's just like, woo, shiny. Lesbiana, what is the best thing about being non-binary for you?
I think kind of similar to what Erica was saying, like when I was younger, I was very, very much like put into like dresses and very feminine things. And that was definitely like growing up in my teenage years and stuff like that. Definitely was not me at all. And now growing up and finding more things about myself and about how I want to be perceived, it has been difficult for me sometimes because I am a person who is a bigger size. My chest is of large size as well, and so when it comes to more like, I guess, masculine leaning things, it's kind of difficult for me to find those type of things because I have such a large chest, and it like shirts tend to be like bigger than what they should be,
Mhm.
I guess. But also like what Aphasia said, like being it's great to be non-binary because like I can just wear whatever I want, especially like as an adult. Like if I want to go out in a tank top, I can do that. If I want to like go out in like a shirt with no bra, like I can do that. And it's like, it's also like freeing and like, yeah.
Because it's like at that point, it's like, what are you gonna tell me? You can't tell me shit. I'm
Exactly.
already outside wearing this bitch. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Fight me. The fuck?
And if you have a problem, like just look the other way. Like you don't have to look at me.
Mhm.
Very that. And
Yeah.
even if people do, like, I feel like as well, like, obviously Dublin's like progressive question mark. I mean, it's like we're having a lot of trouble separating church and state at the moment, so I'll let you kind of figure out exactly where it is there. But it's like every time I go out like dressing a little bit more feminine or feminine, quote unquote, and like if I was to ever, like if people like yell like weird things at me, it's like, okay, so what? You're yelling at this at me, but it's like it's a badge of pride already. Like I'm here. This is me, and you're just yelling at me what I am. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Like,
Very
tell me
valid.
something new. Tell me what I have not heard before. Like, come up with something else.
Oh my god, literally, if you're going to be, I say this as well about like trolls on Twitch, if you're going to be a troll, like tell me something that I haven't heard before. Like,
Be clever,
Right.
quick, witty, fierce, any of the above, but they just
oh my
can't.
god, like
They don't
listen,
have
if
it.
you,
They don't
Parents,
have
and I
it.
love you and appreciate you.
That's why they hate us though, because they don't
Mega
have it.
troll.
They don't have
exactly.
it.
I mean, if you really want to hit me where it hurts, just tell me my lash is wonky and I will end stream right there.
Not the Gia got monkey lash. Oh no. I always say when like there's exactly what there's like some hater whatever troll in the chats. It's like, baby, you can't tell me anything that I already don't say myself. So I am my own worst enemy, Papa 911 girl, because whatever you're gonna say, I'm like I tell myself worse at night. So
Yeah.
go away. And
Yeah.
then so like whatever, fuck up. Just say that.
Honestly. But that brings us kind of to this whole thing of like, have you found not necessarily that there's been any backlash, like major backlash, but has there been any kind of like little tiny things that you've noticed that have happened since coming out? I know for me the biggest thing was been like, you're going to yell at me, and I know Nemi's going to scream at me for this, but since putting my pronouns onto my dating profiles, my matches and my messages have just like shot down to literally nothing, and that is something that I feel like a lot of non-binary people do kind of experience.
Can I say something?
Please.
This is kind of topical,
Absolutely.
but I'm actually I just started using dating apps again, and I started putting myself out there, and I met someone else that was non-binary, and I thought it was interesting. It's literally what you said, that it's scary. I don't know how to explain this, and I don't know if it makes sense, but I think it's something important to bring up. But on dating apps and social profiles, it's scary to even put they, them, or non-binary in your profile because you're afraid that someone's going to look at you weird, or someone's going to lose the respect of you, or someone's going to not want to be interested in you because you're non-binary, or you're using they, them, and they think it's too complicated, if that makes sense. But I don't know. I unfortunately, I don't like that phenomenon. I don't like the phenomenon of, I talk about this a lot, of gay slang that's like, yes, queen, yes, and like very gender centric to a certain type of person. Because for me, I use they, them, and I don't like anything that's very either masculine or feminine. I just like being them, and that's just how I see myself. And when people say like, hi sis, or hi queen, or hey, she looks great, or he looks great. If someone ever said that, I don't know what I would do, but like I just like being them. I don't like those words, if that makes sense. That's my backlash. I don't like.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in Dublin, we touched about this a little bit on the UK Hun ROI Babes panel, which, by the way, every panel that is happening during the convention is highlighted on the Stream Queens channel. So if you missed anything, go down to those highlights, check out the panels that you want to watch, and you know what? Just watch them all, because they're all awesome, and follow everyone on the team and everyone that has been part of the panels. But we were saying in the UK and Ireland, like, even in terms of, I know in drag culture and in the culture of being in the clubs, you don't find like, yes, queen, go on, like you don't hear any of that. You just hear, go on your big ride. You know what I mean? Like, it's all very like, you ledge bag, you ride, you like, it's
I don't know what she's saying, but I think she's calling me fat.
That fat ass, that dumpy.
I will fight you, you skinny bitch.
Mia, no, I told you not to batter Nemi with your slowpoke plush.
Oh my god, we're not doing this.
I don't even have it yet.
But yeah, so that that is something that I feel like we're a little bit good for that here. But Erica, like, what about you? Have you found anything has kind of been said or?
Yeah, well, with the dating thing, I think there is, if you're a male-bodied person or like someone who identifies as male, then there's all these paradigms of like those gay relationships that you feel like you have to follow. There's so much toxic masculinity, obviously in gay male spaces, that sometimes it can be a little bit. I don't know. I feel like I do identify with that, like with that community, but at the same time, it's sometimes hard because you feel like, can I trust someone to understand the complexity of my identity, that can be there to affirm my gender, that's not going to, but also not going to make me feel like I'm a curiosity or like something that they can, So it's like it's challenging because on the one hand, it's like this whole mask for mask culture, which is dumb and stupid and horrible. um so it's like I guess, yeah, finding people that can affirm you and respect you, can be challenging at times.
Yeah.
Do you want to moderate the panel? Because do you want to moderate? Because you're doing such a good job at this.
So
Wait, me?
loud.
Yeah.
What did I
Nikki
do?
says, I move moderator over to Erica's name. Go ahead.
I will literally do it right now. Like, we'll do it live. But yeah, no, totally. I think I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. Someone say something because I don't know what to say. I think you've taken all the words out of my mouth.
Did everyone get to talk about this most recent question? Does anyone else really want to
I
ask?
just do away with dating in general. Like,
Okay, that's
I
fair.
just don't even. I'm just like, okay, like if someone comes around and we hang out, whatever, and things click, like then it happens. But like,
yeah,
I just don't even try to like seek it fully. I'm just busy doing other things. I don't got time for that.
Other things that are annoying when you're on the phone with customer service, ma'am this, ma'am that. When I was when there were kids that were younger than me, let's say, like when I was an older kid, teenager. Oh, you talk like a girl. I'm like, no, bitch, I just talk like me. And like that's what's so hard, I think, sometimes is like I am just naturally like this femme queer person, but it's like it's just so hard for people to like get it sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. It's just how it is, and like I can't hide it. I don't want to hide it. But then there's always this, or even people see me just in life, they use sir. It's like, please don't. Just don't do it at all.
If you're gonna address any of us, the only acceptable ways to address us are my liege, your honor, and your majesty. That's it.
Or with money.
Or with money.
Wait. Money first.
Money first, and then
I will.
Yes.
I will answer to Lincoln, Benjamin, Franklin, whatever. I'll answer to those.
I'll answer to the euro equivalent.
Consider it a fee for guessing our pronouns. How about that?
There it is.
And I think it should be. We should all walk around with those like sum up readers. There's like card readers. It's like every time someone tries to guess our pronouns, it's like they have to tap their card. It's like $5, $5. Every time they get it wrong.
Like the fishbowl, the swearing in the fishbowl.
Yes. But I saw Mia's hand go up there.
I was going to say fetishization.
That's what I was going to get at too.
And that might also just suck because like I'm literally in drag 90% of the time. I mean, as far as dating, I literally also just try to go for like bi or pan dudes.
You're right.
Because I feel like they'll just get me more often. But then like, I don't know, I get so much where like somebody's trying to push me like over the limit on like how feminine I want to be or what I want to look like and stuff like that. And they just expect me to be like, it's just a lot of guys that show interest in me just expect me to be like a chick with a dick. And like, I can't. Like, it just drives me fucking nuts. Like, it's the fetishization of it, like, on it being anywhere under the trans spectrum of, like, you get turned into a fantasy, like a sexual fantasy.
Like an object,
but, like,
more than a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's annoying, because, like, one, one, it's demeaning, and two, like, I'm so much fucking more than that. Like, I'm a person with feelings. I have a heart. Like,
And a
I
great
have
ass.
wants. I have needs.
And a great ass.
I have a fat ass that I could crush men with. Like, I'm so much more than that. I don't. For me,
I'm
the
more
thing that
than a
drives me,
great
like,
ass.
not just the dating, yeah, it's the fetishizing.
The 100%. I was gonna bring that up too because where I live, I live in a major like tourist destination, and me being a not only Black individual but like a larger person, like even like before I started doing drag, just like on all these apps, I would always first and foremost get tons of racist messages. I'm just like, okay, well, that's a whole different thing to unpack, but whatever. But then it would be like, oh, I want to hook up because I never been with like a Black person before. I was like, oh, I'm into like bigger dudes. And then me coming into like my whole like gender queerness, it's like, you know, now I put those are like what I'm on my profile, and they're like, oh, so I guess like you're transitioning or something like that, so you must be a bottom. I'm like, no, I will wreck you, sir, please don't. But also, this is disgusting, get out of my DMs. And I'm kind of like in the same vein as like Les, or like I'm at the point where just like I'd rather meet someone organically and through an app. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm always down for a quick, you know, poke and run, but like
A quick Pokemon.
yes, we're playing poke. I'm a poke that man, whatever. This is joking somewhere. And so I'm just like over at this point. So I'm just like, I'm doing me. I'm trying to like get my mental health together because I've been saying this recently. It's like I can't invite anyone over to my house if it's still dirty, you know? So my house is a mess and I gotta get my shit together before I invite someone over and to like experience that with me. So fuck cishet dudes. That period.
Yeah.
I would much rather date someone who's trans, non-binary, gender non-conforming before a cishet dude comes up in my DMs.
Yeah.
So.
And a lot of the time, like, I'm gonna bring up something that my therapist said to me because yes, she goes to therapy. But a lot of the time, like within the fetishization and all of this, like in a way we sort of in a way a lot of like media has pushed us towards this idea of like, oh, you're like this spectacle and this like massive fantasy that you're gonna get, but at the end of the day, none of us is we're not responsible for another person's erection. Like that's on them. That's on them. Don't bring it my way. Don't bring it my way, please. But yeah. And speaking of media and representation, let's talk about non-binary in the media because we got a little bit of time left. Very quick run through. Who is the first, or who's the most notable, or first non-binary person that you saw in the media? And this is like a celebrity or a real life person. We'll start with Mia.
I don't know off the top of my head, but I can say one of my favorite non-binary characters is Freckle from
Is this a real life person?
Caleb Gallo. I love Freckle.
Freckle, it's a character from
Mia,
the game What of His Life. Yes, it's so good.
I can't think. Sorry, you made me go first. I gotta think about that.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Freckle.
We'll do characters as well then. That's allowed too.
I'm sorry.
Nemi, what about you?
Why'd you pick me? I don't know. Oh my god. All I can think of is that I know in Super Mario that Toad and Toadette are canonically non-binary. They do not have gender.
That is true.
Which I love. So I don't know if you knew that back to the day.
That's fierce. Les?
Oh.
It's a hard question because like
it's hard.
The non-binary like talk didn't really happen until like really recently. because like before you would have like androgyny was like what we had. It's like the in between of male and female, but like people could still identify as either. It's like, oh, I identify as male, and then but I dress this kind of way because I want to blur the lines, which is now non-binary, I see at this point. So like this is a really hard question to like think about, because like it hasn't been until recently we see more non-binary people coming out and say, hey, this is who I am, and so on. So I don't know, but
I mean,
yeah,
who comes to mind? I mean, like celebrities like Demi Lovato, they came out as non-binary. I know, if anyone is familiar with Sarah Ramirez, who plays Dr. Callie Torres in Grey's Anatomy, they also came out as non-binary.
they're so hot.
Grey's Anatomy,
I'm so sorry.
let me tell you.
Started, Les.
Next year,
in the Discord crying to Grey's
Anatomy panel, because Grey's Anatomy, it's been going on for so long, and yes.
Oh my goodness. Aphasia?
I don't really know, but one of my favorites that just came out as non-binary is Gonzo from the Muppets.
Oh my god.
Yes.
No one knew Gonzo's non-binary, and I'm just like, oh my god. And then Tom Holland had like a little thing with Gonzo, because like Gonzo's like, I want to be like you, and Tom Holland's like, no, like who you are is who you are. Like, don't anyone take that away. Don't be me, be you. Who you are is beautiful. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then I found that out recently, that they like pretty much confirmed that Gonzo's non-binary, and Gonzo's one of my favorite Muppets. It's like the fantastic alien creature that's married to a chicken. So like, game over. Gonzo wins non-binary of the year award, in my opinion.
Man, that's fucked up.
Yeah. Erica?
Yeah, I'm not actually certain. I feel like they do identify as non-binary, but I'll just talk about like when I was growing up, like representation that mattered to me was seeing that we know them now as Adore Delano. Back then they used a different name. But seeing them on American Idol was like earth-shattering. You know, as a Latina, like seeing that young little gay boy on Ugly Betty was like huge representation. So like
oh my god,
I not necessarily I don't know how these folks identify per se, but like just seeing a femme queer like boy, let's say, on TV was like amazing and very affirming.
Awesome.
And also like not being made like a joke of as well.
Yeah, like
Yes.
just exist. Yeah, just being able to exist. You know, like they never, like, you know, we can say a lot about American Idol, but like they always were respectful of that artist when they were on. So and they did really great on the show, and like it was like it was just huge. I was like maybe a teenager at the time, and I'm just sort of coming to terms with who I was and everything. So it was like, whoa.
Yeah. That was definitely a big thing. I think for me, like the most recent and kind of most notable thing for me was I was watching a TV show on Netflix called Another Life. Highly recommend everyone watch it. It's really good. But there's a character in there called Zane, and the character uses Z-Zim pronouns, and it was just never addressed. It was just a thing. And I just thought that was like one of the biggest things that I've ever seen. It was just like, this is an openly non-binary actor playing an openly non-binary character that just never had to address the fact that they were non-binary, and that just really stuck with me. But unfortunately, y'all, we could go on and talk about this forever. I feel like we could, couldn't we? But we have been given our 5-minute warning. So let's do a quick fire round about just plug yourself. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, your Twitch handle, social media, upcoming shows, upcoming projects, and shout out a non-binary individual that you love and thinks needs a bit of love. Okay? Sound good? Let's go. Let's start off with Mia Easylay.
I already plugged myself this morning. Should I plug myself again? I don't think I can fit it.
I mean, plug yourself as many times as you want. That's
Hi,
your
my name
choice.
is Mia Easylay. My pronouns are she, her, and I play Pokemon on twitch.tv/MiaEasyLay. You can also catch me playing more Pokemon. It's not all I do. It's a good life. I stream a lot. I'm beautiful, and I would like to give a shout out to the most beautiful non-binary person I know, myself, Mia Easylay.
Oh my gosh.
Because if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna afford credit scores?
I would love if you just like went like a infinite loop of like, shall be easily, who is this? And then this, and then shall be easily.
I'm my own favorite subject. And if I left anyone with a little bit of wisdom, I would let you know that I'm single and looking. This ass is real now.
Oh my god.
Pics on Twitter coming soon.
Oh my god. Erica.
Yes.
I think I'm ignoring me. It's just Erica Collins.
Okay, my name is Erica Clash. That's Erica with a K, Clash with a K. You can find me on Twitch, streaming in and out of drag. Next month, we're celebrating our 1-year anniversary of my channel, and I'm very excited for that. I don't know. That's pretty much it. Watch Dragula. Our season's going to be up in a couple weeks. Bam.
Nice.
Period.
Oh, a non-binary person that I would shout out. Nikki Stones for organizing the panel.
I was gonna say that. I knew you.
Thank you. Okay, Aphasia.
Oh, hi. Hello. Once again, my name is Aphasia Speaks, the bitch that just won't shut up. I run the Speakeasy here on twitch.tv. Like I said, it's closed down right now, but it may be opening back up very soon. You can find me on twitch.tv/Aphasia Speaks. All social media except for Instagram is Aphasia Speaks. Instagram is going to be queen_Aphasia. And a non-binary person I'd like to shout out would be my really good friend Jor Games, or the streamer out here. I love Jor with all of my heart, another genderqueer individual, and I love them and I miss them, even though I was playing games with them last night. Whatever. That's it. Hi, bye.
Yay. Lesbiana.
Yeah, so once again, I'm Lesbiana, drag king streamer here on Twitch. You can find me literally everywhere as Lesbiana. Let's see. Any upcoming projects? I do have a Get Ready With Me stream that I have to do as part of meeting certain goals for the charity streams that I had a while ago. So yeah, just check out my channel and wait for that. A person, let's see, shout out to some of our other non-binary siblings, London Bradshaw, Marisol Lords, Minx Queen,
Save some for
Ego
me.
Queen,
All of those.
This is what. This is why I'm putting Lem last.
Laura.
Yes. Everyone, yes. Go follow
90% of the team.
Yes.
Thank you, Les. And Nemi.
I will wrap up very quickly. I'm Nemesis here on the network on my channel every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever fucking day. Non-binary Brad Stall here on Twitch, exclusively on Twitch. I play lots of games. I can't say any upcoming projects because I am under contract to say nothing about them, so stay tuned. Hope you enjoy them. But yeah, shout out to all of the non-binary mods, non-binary trans mods that are helping out Stream Queens Con, everybody that's helping the convention that is non-binary. We love you. Thank you so much. And yeah, thanks Nikki for doing the panel.
Yes, thank you for being a part of it.
Nikki, this is beautiful.
And
thank you.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Once again, my name is Nikki or you know, we're gonna do the full thing. 안녕하세요 여러분, 저는 Nikki입니다. Hi friends, my name is Nikki Stones and I'm Dublin's drag K-pop idol. I stream on Twitch every single Tuesday and Sunday. I'm a member of Team Stream Queens, your local non-binary crush and an autistic mixed race drag legend. You can catch me over on twitch.tv/Nikki_Stones, like I said, every Tuesday and Sunday. All of my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all social media is the same at Nikki_Stones. And the non-binary person that I want to shout out is I want to give a special shout out to a dear friend of mine that is Harley Reckless, who I've gotten really, really close with lately.
Yes,
They,
Harley.
Yes, Harley.
We love Harley, but they have seriously like pulled through for me lately as such a good friend. So I want to give a huge, huge, huge shout out to Harley. Once again, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to Visibility Non-Binary Finery. Stay tuned for the rest of the con. We have the rest of today and tomorrow as well. We'll see you around. And just stay safe, stay happy, and stay queer. Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.